Hi guys, this is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy. I want to talk to you today about some tips to reduce hand wobble and get the best, sharpest image you can when using slower shutter speeds. Now there's a lot of different techniques out there. You can use, mirror up mode. There's lots of different tips and techniques, but I'm just going to talk about the stance and technique I physically use to help me get a sharp image at a slower shutter speed. Now, a recent test I was doing using actually the Tamron 24-70 with VC, I was able to get sharp shots at 70mm down to half a second and maybe even a little bit better than that, which was, for me, a fantastic result. Now, I'm not saying I'm the world's best at this, but these are just some tips for you. To be honest, it's a lot like shooting a rifle, the way I approach taking shots at a slow shutter speed. So I will normally have it in slow burst mode, so around 3 to 4 frames a second if I have that option. And I will take a series of shots rather than just taking the one shot. I'll let it keep firing whilst I try and hold my pose and hope that within the 4 there'll be 1 or 2 that are super sharp. Now, basically, I put my feet at least shoulder width apart and, make sure they're in good grounded positions and feel like I'm nicely planted. Next up, I will actually tuck my elbows down into just on my ribs as much as I can, as tight as I can, trying to use them to support my arms as best as I can. And then the other thing I do, then, you've got movement up here with the camera still, is when you've got your shot all framed up, is I actually push the camera back against my head quite hard. And by doing that, then I've got it kind of supported on all different axes. To make sure I have a bit of left and right support as well, I'll have my right hand on the grip nice and strong, and then I'll have my thumb around the lens on the left hand side pushing to the left, my right hand pushing to the right, and then it pushing back to my head. Also then I'm kind of pushing the camera in every direction towards its center of gravity to try and hold it still. Okay, so to show you exactly how that works in practice, I'm going to take a shot back at the camera at 50mm on my camera at half a second. Now, the rule of thumb would say it should be 1/60th or faster if I'm at 50mm, but let's see how we go. This is the Tamron 24-70. It's got a very effective VR on there, but we'll take some shots and see how we go. So planting my elbows in nice and tight, hands tight against the lens, my feet are nice and well planted, pushing back against my head, take focus, breath in, and once I've exhaled, I'll fire off a few shots. Let's go. Okay, now I can see just from there, I have got a couple that are nice and sharp, so I'll show you the shot and crop right in on the word Nikon. And just for fun, let's turn the VR off on this one and see how we can go. The VR on this is really effective, but still, let's try it at 1/4 of a second, still at 50mm without VR. Okay, out of those 4, there was one that's pretty close to sharp, not pin sharp, but that's still a pretty good result, I think. Now, if you can shoot at, so I'm shooting at f20 there in the middle of the day, but if I was shooting at night and I can shoot wide open at f2.8 or even faster, 1/4 or a half a second with that sort of a technique, if your object isn't moving too quickly, there's not a lot you can't capture with that kind of light. And, once you throw in an ISO variability, that's going to make a difference as well. So I hope that helps. Plant your body, relax yourself with exhaled breath, support the camera on every axis, and you'll be surprised how slow a shutter speed you can make an acceptable shot. Thanks for watching, guys. Any other questions, comments, tips and techniques you'd like to see, leave them as comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please click to like if you've enjoyed it or share it around. And I'll see you soon. This is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy. Until next time, get your gear out.